You're watching Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco, brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Grand Lake Roofing, Fowler's TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Lanes, Outdoors Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods. You are renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Mary Chap Auto Sales, Tap House at the Square, CSC, Jordan Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Compton, Guaneri's Pizzeria, and DFW Post 9289.
Welcome to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. Every week, Rider Nation Station tries to bring you local former official Mark Cisco here to talk about some of the clips from the previous week's game. Mark, thanks for joining me again.
Zach, it's always a pleasure to be here.
Mark, I wanted to jump in with a viewer question that we had submitted.
All right.
At the end of the St. Mary's game, St. Mary's was trying to kill the clock.
Okay.
And one of the viewers was curious if the spiking the ball, killing the clock, would hit one of the players instead of hitting the ground. Is that a penalty, or how would that be enforced?
No, it wouldn't be. In that situation, we know what the player's trying to do. The quarterback's trying to kill the clock, and he hits the player, and maybe the ball bounces back up into the hands of the QB. There would only be a problem if the quarterback at that point decided to throw the ball, try to ground the ball again. Because the rule basically states that an action like that has to be immediately after the snap. And basically, he gets it in his hands, he throws it down, and we've got no problem, incomplete forward pass. He gets it a second time and tries that, then we've got an issue because now it's going to be intentional grounding call. And we all know what he's trying to do, but he only gets one shot at it, and it's got to be immediately after the snap.
And it has to hit the ground. It can't hit another player.
It has to hit the ground, otherwise, hits a player, bounces back up, the ball is still live.
Still live. So if it would hit a player, bounce up, and then hit the ground, is that just a dead ball? Well, then it's just killing the clock as well.
He's done what he needed to do.
Right.
Could glance off the center's foot, ankle, or whatever. We're going to kill that. We're going to be fine. But if he gets it back in his hands, it's still live. Heck, he could even run with it if he wanted to. But again, you're trying to stop the ticks from coming off the clock, so you want to get that clock stopped as soon as possible.
Now, when I played that, killing the clock had to be under center. Is that still the case?
That is not still the center. You can do that, but you can be in shotgun or not under center and get it done. As long as he catches it, doesn't fumble around with it, and gets it on the ground. He can't stand there 1001 and then decide to throw it and try to kill it. He's got to do it right now.
It might take a little bit longer, but there's a lot of teams out there that I don't think they know how to snap under center
Well,
anymore.
That's true. The other thing the listener might think about is, he's still going to kill the clock. Yes, and we're going to have a foul for intentional grounding or illegal forward pass technically. But in that situation, the referee, as soon as the ball is down, we're going to start the clock.
Okay.
So the clock's not going to stay dead because you made a mistake. So in that situation, we're going to start the clock.
Okay, final question on this issue. My favorite play in video games. What about a fake spike?
Legal in high school ball.
Okay.
Legal.
So
not legal in college, but legal in high school.
Okay. I think it's legal in NFL too because it's on my Madden.
Well, and Madden has got to be correct, right?
Yeah, that's right. So you can fake a spike and then throw it down the field or try something
when you
shifty.
do that sort of thing, you run the risk of, let's say that comes back to haunt you somewhere down the road.
Yeah, seems kind of a little cowardly maybe.
Well, ethically maybe a little dubious, right?
Sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, Mark, we've got lots of clips here from the Defiance game. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at some clips and get Mark's opinion on them. We'll be back right after this.
You're watching Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco, brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Grand Lake Roofing, Fowler's TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Lanes, Outdoors Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods. You are renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Mary Chap Auto Sales, Tap House at the Square, CSC, Jordan Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Compton, Guaneri's Pizzeria, and DFW Post 9289.
Welcome back to Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco. Mark, we're going to jump right into some of the Defiance clips here. So this first clip was early in the game, Defiance. I just thought, look at the pre-snap here. I don't think Defiance had enough men on the line because the quarterback instructs his receiver to step up there.
He did. They had too many men in the backfield right there. and it's easy for us because we're counting at that point when you're looking, you got 5 helmets that are not on the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be a problem if they snap the football. So this guy steps up, everybody's set for a second, and away we go. Nothing wrong. Something like a formation can be corrected before the snap. Officials did a good job of not blowing a whistle there, and they shouldn't have.
Good heads-up play by the quarterback,
and
too.
And it was.
Yeah.
I mean, make sure everybody's on the line of scrimmage. He knew something looked weird, and, let's fix it before we move on. Right.
Thought that was pretty interesting. This next play, we had a lot of things going here. So we had some double motion, so 2 players in motion at the same time.
Okay, all right.
But they did get set, so I believe that was legal.
Correct.
And then I think we had a flinch of the left guard or left tackle.
Okay.
And finally, we had a catch caught by the left tackle. So it was a tackle-eligible type of play.
Let's look at that.
Let's watch
look
this.
at that. So we're going to look at a flinch possibly?
So first we have the motion, and if you look, and then as that motion was happening right there, the left guard flinched just a little bit, and then we had a pass going out to the left tackle.
Okay, let's see that again. Let's just see what number we're looking at as far as left tackle goes. All right, those guys move. All right, so
there's the flinch.
So let's stop there if we can. So they're shifting to a new formation, which is fine. We don't have too many men in the backfield. We're all good there. All right. So we've got a wideout to the left of the screen here is wearing number 3. He appears to be off of the line of scrimmage. He would have to be to make the next lineman eligible, all right? And so the number 3 is off, and you got 3 in the backfield, quarterback and the 2 halfbacks, if you will, so that makes 4. So we don't have 5. The guy at the top of the screen, 11, he's on the line of scrimmage, so we're good. So that's fine, and everybody's set for a second. Now let's just see what number the end lineman is wearing here, if we can tell what the number might be. He's wearing 37. Okay, so it makes him an eligible receiver, because the wideout is off the line of scrimmage. He's in a tackle position, if you will, but he's wearing the correct number, meaning he's not wearing number 50 through 79. So that makes him eligible. You don't see that very often, but it caught St. Mary's off guard.
Yeah, this was a 2-point conversion play.
Correct.
So definitely something that Defiance had been working on.
Oh, sure.
And if he would have had a true tackle number, 70, 77.
He wouldn't have been ineligible.
Okay. Could he be announced to be eligible? Okay.
Not in high school football. I can't do that.
Okay.
Nope. You got to be wearing the right number to be eligible and then be in the correct position, either in the backfield or not on the line of scrimmage or on the end of the line, and not be covered up by somebody who is on the line of scrimmage.
So creative tackle-eligible play there from
if you want to call it that, because of the position. It does just because he's in that normal position as tackle doesn't make him ineligible at that point.
Gotcha. Yeah, he almost acted more as a tight end right there.
I'm sure the teams that are playing Defiance from here on out will make sure they know all about that and look that over.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mark, this next play was early in the game. A legal man downfield called on St. Mary's, and then I think the officials picked up the flag. Okay. So we had a screen pass right here on the left to Colton Mabry, and he's tackled there in the backfield.
Sure. Can we run that again? Let's just see here once. So who goes downfield? The tight end there, it looks like?
I think the tight end right there in the back.
Let's try that again. Let's just see where he comes from. All right, so we got 44. 44 is running downfield. That's fine there. Now, on the upper part of the screen, we have, looks like maybe, I
think 80?
87, a tight end, possibly?
Correct.
Okay, and the official looks at him after. Can we go back there, Mr. Engineer, and see where he starts from, possibly? Let's see, run it. Okay, he appears to be on the end of the line, maybe? I don't know if we got a St. Mary's got a white out to the top of the screen or not.
I don't believe so. I think it was.
But if he's got the right number on, okay. And he's looking back to see what the number is. So the number appears to be eligible. And if he's on the end of the line, even though he's on the line of scrimmage, he's good. Let's just see here.
Here's the end zone view.
Let's count players. Let's count helmets here for a second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes,
6,
it's a tight
7,
formation.
8,
so
9, 10, 11.
Let's look at the guy that looks like the tight end on the end of the line right here. Let's run it because I think that's where he's looking at. 87's good. 44's good out there. Yeah, I don't know what the call was on who, because the numbers are right, but what they did was, because the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage, you can have any number of ineligible numbers downfield blocking or wherever. And the ball never crossed the line of scrimmage, so they picked it up and brought it back. And the play stood because it was a net loss. So they did the right thing talking about it and get it done, but I'm not sure what their thoughts were.
It maybe should have been thrown in the first place.
Well, that appears to be correct from what we're looking at here, yes.
This next play was the Defiance's second touchdown. It was a quick screen or a quick pass out to the receiver, and you saw a second receiver there block, and some of the St. Mary's fans thought it might have been blocking the back here on the bottom of the screen.
Let's take a look and see what's up.
So we're looking at number 45 and 5 here on the bottom of the screen. I believe 45 catches the ball and 5's the blocker. And you can see that push right there.
Yeah, that looks a little crappy, but probably contact there was on the shoulder level and not squarely in the back. Let's take a look at that. That's probably a good no call just from looking at the film here, because that's a quick little come out, and he's trying to get him. And he doesn't make shoulder contact in the back. He gets him on there, even though it looks kind of funny. We're going to let that one go because he probably got part of the shoulder and not in the back.
And
so,
I think too, I know that we've talked about it shouldn't matter, but it looked like his momentum was going that way anyway.
The momentum was that way, and yes, some people say, well, he pushed him, he fell forward on his face. Well, he's going that way anyway, and all he needed was a little push on the shoulder to make that happen. Mm-hmm. And could have I supported it? Called the other way? Sure, yeah, could have, but that looks like a good no call to me.
I think this next call was just kind of a simple false start on St. Mary's. Fullback in the backfield falls forward. We've talked about
there's no hiding that one.
No.
That's one of those. Well, that's false start. You're going to throw the flag right away.
Now we've talked about before though. If a running back maybe falls and just his second arm touches the ground, if everybody stays set, is that okay? Is that can that be considered like motion?
He missed a snap count. I mean, I've had backs miss a snap count and are good enough to take that step and then just go crap and then continue on in motion. And if they make it look smooth, I'll buy that because they've not really, he comes out of there slow, fine. He just missed it. He's falling forward there and went, oh, and about the time he started to move forward, he went, oh darn, and we're done. Right? Yeah. That's not probably what he was thinking, but that's what we're going to say here. So, yeah.
Well, this next play was a big fourth down for St. Mary's, and they were given the first down by a Defiance penalty, which was called encroachment.
Sure.
And I'm trying to figure out exactly. I think Joe and I were trying to figure out during the broadcast. I think it's the nose tackle, but it was interesting just to see.
I'm thinking it's 64 right here on the end.
On the end, okay.
Yeah, because if you look where the football is, there's the official out there is straddling the football. The ball is across the line, and I think 64 has either got his hands or his helmet over the top of the football. And at that point, the officials are hoping he'll get back to try to save a call. Mm-hmm. But he never did, so it's like, okay, you're done. In theory, they probably should have shut it down before the ball was snapped, but they got it just at the snap, so it was a good call on their part. Yep.
And I don't know if the St. Mary's running back got the first down or not. So it was potentially a big
penalty. Got the first down.
Yeah, potentially big play, big penalty there. This was a pass later in the game from Defiance, and I thought it was good coverage, but I'm sure some of the Defiance fans thought it might have been pass interference. Just wanted to know your thoughts. Going to be on the top of your screen right here.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, from this angle, it doesn't look like there was early contact. He might have, made contact on the arm just as the ball was getting there or something like that. I don't see it. I mean, you've got the back judge looking at it, and we've got the headlinesman looking at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
We've got an end zone view here as well. We talk about sometimes that you can get called if you're face guarding, but I think you usually have to have some kind of contact with the receiver for that.
Face guarding is no longer illegal in high school football. He might have run into him a little bit, possibly. Could you support it? You could, but the officials looked at it and go, yeah, we're not. And the official out here is got a really good look at it, and the ball's there and everything. Yeah, that's a bang-banger. We're not going to call that. We're going to leave it be.
Good. The next play was a delay of game from Defiance on a punt.
Right.
And I guess I was just curious of the mechanics because none of the officials that you see in your screen right here made the delay of game call.
But you see the flag flying back here.
The flag came all the way from the end zone.
That is his responsibility. It's the back judge's responsibility for the play clock. And, if you could have seen the back judge there, when the clock got down to 5 seconds, the back judge is instructed to put the hand in the air and start counting down.
Okay.
A punter's not looking downfield that far or wherever, but both clocks are visible. And the back judge did everything he could to think, okay, maybe they'll get it snapped. Once it turns 0, we'll let it go. They didn't. It's a good call. Back judge gets it, and away we go.
All right, this was an interesting play, Mark. It was a short down, 4th and 1, I think, right there. We had some sort of defensive line scheme where the players just dive at the legs right
just
after
try
the ball
to
snapped.
Create a pile. Sure.
Right.
Yep.
And I guess my thought of this was we've seen more emphasis on blocking below the waist for offense. Can the defense also be called for the same thing?
They can, but I think I remember this play. I happened to be sitting in the stands, and St. Mary's sure did that. They went right down, but at the snap they can do it immediately. What's good for the offense is good for the defense, so they can do the same thing. So no issues here.
And that's what I wanted to ask about. So it's the same thing that we talked about on offense, where it has to be usually within 1 step or 2 steps.
Same situation, right immediately, and they did. They started that right away. They went right down. And they're taking legs and ankles and things out, and they do a nice job, but unfortunately the running back finds a hole in there, and the linebackers didn't fill, and boom, away you go.
Yeah, they did it with 4 guys, and they left the middle wide open.
Yes, they
right
did.
There.
And the 61 makes a nice block here, and away you go. So that was perfectly legal on St. Mary's part. Now, if they would have hesitated at any point, then we would have had a foul.
That's what I was kind of curious about there. So this next play was pushing the pile.
Oh, indeed, yes.
So this is a new emphasis, right?
It is. The running back gets the ball, and away he goes, and he just won't quit. And we've got bodies, and the offensive people are pushing on St. Mary's, and away we go. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
Now, if we would have had a Defiance player pushing his own running back directly, that would not have been fine.
So the difference is whether the player is touching the running back or...
Pretty much, that's what they've told us.
You got to be able to see that specifically. It's not just the whole pile.
Yeah, and when you get a whole pile like that, you got to believe that the defense is all around the runner, and we're just pushing pile. And it
looks like a rugby scrum.
Something like that, yes.
This was a false start called on Defiance, but I thought it was maybe St. Mary's got away with a little encroachment.
Well,
there.
it looks like it's out on the tackle there up at the top of the screen.
Right.
And he moves. The St. Mary's kid may or may not got into the neutral zone.
Right.
And they both, and of course then the offensive player looks like he was reacting to that.
Right.
But in high school, sorry about you. You better hold your ground as an offensive lineman there. And I don't think the St. Mary's player was intending to cause an action. He just looked like he missed. He was looking for the ball to move, and it was just a little thing. And he didn't get into the neutral zone, so they tagged Defiance. Looks like properly to me for a false start.
So defense can shift, defense can jump, defense can look like they're jumping the snap as long as they don't actually get into that neutral zone. They're okay.
They can do it within reason. You can't. There's a rule that says you can't come up there like a linebacker and stomp your foot right at the center and try to create havoc, so to speak, because that's not a football move. Now they can shift around and they can move up and down the line and move things like that. That's just part of the natural part of the game. But if the defensive end there for St. Mary's was doing anything to try to cause something to happen, then they would have flagged the defense.
Okay. This next call was just an encroachment on St. Mary's then. So I'm thinking it was the DN on this side, but I'm not sure. Actually, I'm sorry. No, this was called offsides, I believe, on Defiance.
Let's see that again.
So I think it was actually the right end for Defiance.
Possibly the right guard in the line of scrimmage. I don't remember.
So that would be offsides.
Well, there's no offsides. There's no offsides in high school.
Okay.
It's encroachment or false start.
Right.
So if the offensive player lines up in the neutral zone, the theory is you get that. As soon as the ball snapped, you shut it down. And I think they did. It just took them a while for the play to stop. So there's no offsides. You can't, once you put your hand down there as an interior lineman, or you line up in the neutral zone and don't get out of there, then you're going to get flagged. And I don't remember who threw the flag for what, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there.
This next play was a punt return for St. Mary's.
Okay.
And one of the defenders, as he was trying to block, the ball bounced up and hit him on the side, so it was a turnover on St. Mary's. See right there at the top of the screen.
Sure.
I guess I just was curious on the mechanics and is there ever a chance where he gets blocked into the ball like that?
It's possible. It is very possible.
Didn't look like it happened here.
It didn't happen here, but if the receiving team there had blocked the St. Mary's defender into the ball, that touching would have been ignored.
Okay.
Okay. So that clearly wasn't the case here. The defender had no idea where the ball was, and it's just too bad for St. Mary's at that point.
Yeah, he's just running down on his own, and there it hits him right in the back of the legs. We saw it from that end zone view. This next play was a little bit of extra. I think Defiance, and the receiver was really upset that he got hit after dropped the ball over here. I didn't think it was that dirty. I thought it was just kind of part of football there.
It is. Let's just see the contact there, because we probably got a defenseless receiver here. Boom, boom, boom. And the question is, did he get the hands out to make contact first? I would guess it's a tough angle to see, but he's coming in there and brings the hands up. The helmet's coming too. Now, if they'd have flagged it for, targeting possibly or a late hit, I could support that there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the hands are out. So where the ball was snapped there's an official looking right at that. Should be looking right through that. So I think it's a good no call.
And then this last play was just towards the end of the game. No intentional grounding call. Is that the good call there?
But look at number 87 coming across and that's close enough, truthfully. And I don't
Is there a bright line, 5 yards, 10 yards?
Can we tell where we snapped it from on that play by chance? Basically, we snapped it. Looks like they started right at the stake.
Yeah.
So the quarterback runs out. Is he more than 3 or 4 yards wide? He is. So he lets go of it. Here, let's see where the ball lands. It lands well beyond the down box. So he gets out of trouble there.
Yep.
Plus, there's 87s in the area, and he's close enough. So
and it doesn't matter how that quarterback throws it, whether he's
underhanded behind his back through his legs. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as it gets where it needs to be, it's still a forward pass.
That was my question.
Yep.
So, well, Mark, thank you very much. We jumped into a lot of clips today. Hope everybody enjoyed it. St. Mary's has Walpock this week. Hopefully we have some good clips from a victory, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for watching Rules of the Game with Mark Cisco, brought to you by all of these fine sponsors.
Grand Lake Roofing, Ballers TV, Family Audiology Associates, American Legion Post 323, Varsity Lanes, Outdoors Equipment Rental, Spring Street Storage, Mr. Bank, Plus One Professionals, Albert Sporting Goods. You are renovating St. Mary's Foundry, Larry Staff Auto Sales, Staff House at the Square, CSC, Jordan Plumbing and Heating, Roots Pub, Dr. Mike Compton, Gwinnett Pizzeria, and DFW Post 9289.